Alrighty, the graphics guy, gonna have a look here at the 2019 Section A short questions. So, 15 questions here. You gotta do 10, but I would recommend doing a few more than 10 just in case you make a few mistakes or get one or two wrong. Just start off here looking at question 1. So, filling in the label for the different ones. So, I would always say do the ones you know first, by process of elimination. So I would expect people to know that that's a tangent. So that's sorted. And this is a quadrant. Then if you do know that the chord is this one, so then obviously that's a sector. And there is a link, I guess, between, let's say, just to use this as a slight teaching aid, that in there then is called a segment. It wasn't asked in 2019, that particular piece, whereas this line here is the chord. Okay, so anyway, that's question 1. So on to question 2. Now, I'm going to do all of the questions, but again, just reminding you there that you just need to do 10 as a minimum, but probably better off to do 12. Now, I would be careful here looking at this here. There's often clues in the line over here, and it's showing us 4 vertical lines here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's always important information to be got from the pictorial there. So I'm going to start here on the right hand side. So if I come down from the right hand corner, that's giving me this bottom point here. So if I vanish that then back to the left hand vanishing point, and I now know where that line ends. So I'll just use a color, I think. So we now have that point there, and then that joins up to here, and that's this right hand panel here finished. Now I'm going to work my way along over here. We know that this bottom line here vanishes towards the vanishing point, so you just need to draw that going towards there like that. So now what we know next then is that all of these lines here, 1, 2, 3, 4, all these lines are going towards this vanishing point. So I'll just put them in light. All those horizontal parallel lines go to the vanishing point, 1 over here. So what do we know then? So now this is where, going back to my pictorial, I know if I come up here vertical from this point here, that is going to give me the top of the lid here, and the step up here. Okay, so what now I need next? How to find this point here? Well, that is horizontal parallel to this, so it's going back to vanishing point 2. So it's heavy to here. So that's that flat rectangle there. And then that joins up to here. And that is, I believe, all there is to that question. So that is question 2 sorted. Then, on to question 3. Now it says here, write down the measurements for A, B and C. Now A, okay, so if that's radius 15, A has to be 30 because that's the diameter. Now B and C, okay, so B is 70, so that distance there is 74, and I can subtract 15 from that, because from this distance from there to there is 15, and this distance here is 30. So I can do my maths here. 30 and 15 is 45, and the whole thing from the outside left to the outside right here is 74 minus 45 is 29. So that distance B there must be 29. And finally there, then C, the internal angle there, well, that's a regular pentagon. So if it's a regular pentagon, I'll just draw that in there. If it's a pentagon, the angle there is 72 degrees, which means that this must be 108, because it must add up to 118. Okay, so our answer there is 108. Okay, so on to question 4 here. Now, I would recommend counting the boxes. Now, they've given the base here, which is like 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 by 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we've got the base here now, which is 9 by 4. And basically, a good bit of this has been set up for us already. So the width of the base there, then of the stand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 wide here, and it goes up 4, and it's 1, 2, 3 wide on top. Okay, now guys, question 4 here, the freehand pictorial sketch, and don't forget the coloring of this. Now look, I want to point out something here. Straight vertically above 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes. So if you go 7 boxes vertically from this back corner here, we're going to find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that there coming forward 4 boxes is the depth of this, because I think you should count these boxes before you start, just to keep the size in check. So we now have found the top corner of this 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Comes out 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and back 9 here. So that's the top surface of the weighing scales container there. And then that comes down 1, 2, 3 and in 1. So vertically down 1, 2, 3 and in 1 to here. Down 1, 2, 3 and then 1 to there. So that is the bottom surface there, and the depth again is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now what I'm going to do there then is, if the front corner is here, the back corner is back 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can only see a little bit of the ways into this, so I'm going to just heavy in the rest of that there. So that's our container. Now the middle piece here then, the vertical height of that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it goes up 4, but it comes in 1 and up 4 and then 1. So it would go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Slopes in 1, so that would be towards here. So that's the heavy part. And then it goes over 5. Then vertically up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 in 1. So towards there. That's heavy here. And finally there, then I just, that's going to disappear going back there in this direction. Okay, and that's it. So I need to just throw a few colors on that. Do not forget the coloring in of this. Now I would also recommend trying to use lighter colors like yellows and greens, and maybe not so much blacks or browns if you can. Okay, so there we go. Now the next question here then is, how many squares is in this section here? So just running through it there for squares. Well, first of all, the outside is a square, so that's 1. And this here is a square, the small one here, 2. And that there is a square, 3. And here you've got diagonally a square there. So that's 4 squares. Now rectangles, then we're going to have this one, 1, and all of that one there, 2. And this one 3, and all of that one 4, and this rectangle 5, and that rectangle there 6, that one 7, all of that one there 8. Okay, so I'll just run through them really quickly. So you've got 1 and extended, so that's 2. And you've got 3 and that one extended, 4. And then you've got 5 for all of that, 6 for all of this, that rectangle there 7, and that one 8. Now then finally, the triangles. Now I'm going to just number these as I go there to help you see. So I'm going to number the small ones first. So that's 1 and 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the 2 of them then make another triangle. So that's 9. And the 2 of them make another triangle, 10. And this triangle here then is 11, and opposite is that triangle there, which is 12. And then we've got all that big triangle there, 13. And all of this triangle here, which is 14. Okay, so question 6, the rotations question here next. So it rotates about point O until E reaches the line. So I'll just do the start of that. So it rotates until E reaches the line. And I'll just find a few easy points to start with. Okay, so if this is the new position for E, we'll call it E1. So D must be that far from E, because the size doesn't change. So that's our first line here. And I'll just find a colour there now to draw in this. So and because E goes through O, I can draw that as well. So now that we've got that much done, we're up and running. Okay, so just to be safe now about that, I'll just mark this distance here. Right, so that's the definite ending of that line there. Now again, there's a few ways I could do this next bit now, and I'm going to show you a little trick here actually, because AE and DC are parallel. They must also be parallel. Okay, so our distance from A up to B there, I just marked it with the compass. It's here, so I'll just heavy that in. And that joins up to C. A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, E, D, and E. So there we go. Now question 7 here is an auxiliary elevation. So what they're looking for is this surface S here. If I just stick a bit of colour on surface S for a second. So that surface there, they're looking for that, the true shape of it. Now that surface is running along here. And it would be here in the front view. Now if auxiliary elevation is something that confuses you, I think it sometimes helps to put a little bit of colour on it. So what you're trying to do is look up there. Okay, so that's the angle of the surface. So I want to look perpendicular 90 degrees, shoot these up here. Now the dotted line is the underneath part. And I'll just bring the stand as well there. Okay, so that's everything projected up. So I'll just take a few heights here. So the height of the pole or the stand pole is this much. So that's here. And the height of the top is this. So basically I think that's all the heights that we need. So I'll just line this up again. So here's the height of the top. Here's the bottom. And that stops here because of the slope. So I'll just heavy in the right hand end, the pole. Now there should be one dotted line on this here because of this flat surface there. And again there, just to finish it off. So that would be now the true shape of our surface S. Now, next up is our freehand sketching question. Now, I would recommend creating this where I'll just draw it as if it was a full box. So I'll just create that out. You want to keep the proportion pretty right here if you can. So we can heavy it in afterwards. So there is our curve. Now that curve is starting there then about, I guess it would be about a third of the ways in here. So there's the curve part of it now, and then the distance there for that second, that offset would be in here like this. So I'll just heavy in that surface. Now that button there then would be starting around here. It's in about 2 mil there, so I'll just keep that in a bit light. That would be going across here, so I'll just heavy in the lines that you will see and the height of it. So there's our button. And finally then we've got the tape measure coming out here. So again, that's coming up there a few mil up off the bottom like this. So sticking out at the same angle, about that far. Same angle here, drops down a few mil. I'll just heavy in the rest there than what we would see. Now again, they're important to put a colour or shade on this. I'm going to put a surface underneath it and just stick a few colours on that. I'll just mark in a few measurements on this here. Okay, now onto our CAD question here. So CAD commands, there's any 3 out of possible 4, so you could have extend, you could mirror, you could offset, and an extrude. So any 3 of them would do you. Then next up is this parabola question. So I'm just going to divide up the side here. So I'm going to go with 4 distances. So I'm going to go 10, 20, 30, 40. Join the 4th one to the end here. And just set some parallel lines. So that breaks the height here into 4 equal distances. And then I'm going to do the same above here. Now, I'll just use 5s above here, I think. So there's 4 equal distances. Join the 4th one to the vertex, go parallel. Okay, so the sides go to the vertex. And these come down parallel to the side. So long to the long, middle to the middle, short to the short. There's our points. Now we could do the same construction again, or you could just use the fact that it's symmetrical. Again there, just for speed, I think I'm going to go with the symmetrical option. Just do an axial symmetry, so however far it is to the left, same distance to the right. Now, just a useful trick for improving your curve, if you find those curves a bit difficult, is the longer distances. You could join them straight with a pencil and then just round them afterwards a little bit heavier. Okay, so okay, so there's our parabola. Next up here, question 11. Okay, so just want to think about this here now. So if you fold up there, that's the base. So if you fold up that side, the back, that would be there, the flap. So there's an open top to this box, which would make it B. Now I could number all of these and kind of work my way through it or whatever, but like I can see there, I think, you know, at higher level you should be able to see there that, you know, let's say if I call that X, that's that surface there, and Y is this one sticking up here, and so on. By process of elimination, all the surfaces are here except for the top, so it's B is the answer. Now question 12, I know these are a bit difficult for some people now, those questions, and particularly the internal tangent. Okay, so that's an internal tangent there. So what I want to do is add the radius of the small circle on here to the big one. So I'm just going to add that distance on there, and just draw a semicircle there, circle there with that. And what I want to do then, join the center of this. I want to bisect that now like a normal tangent, so I'm going to just bisect that line. So I'm going to do this good and big here now so that you can see especially the far away parts there. So I'm going to bisect that from the two centers. Okay. So this here is the midpoint, M for midpoint. I'm going to set my compass. And draw this semicircle. Now I'll draw all of it there just so you can see. I'm going to draw that semicircle. Now I might use a color here just to explain this. Okay, so what we've got here now is a tangent to that bigger circle here, like this. That green line there is a tangent from the center of that to that bigger circle, and when I move that now parallel, that is going to give me an internal tangent when I go parallel, because the radius that I added on here is going to be the same as that radius there. And if you wanted here now, you could find the points of contact even before you do it by going perpendicular. So that's going to be one point of contact there. The other point of contact is going to be here, and my tangent, I will put it in a different color, is there. Okay, so that's an internal tangent that we can see here. Now question 13 here then is an enlargements question. Okay, so it says there, we call it an enlargements there. So draw a new outline similar to the given one. Okay, now similar means, you know, all the slopes are going to be parallel. So if B moves out to here, okay, B moves out to there, so I know that this is the new base. Okay, so that's the new base. Now, the top of the chimney stack then I can enlarge out. Now A doesn't move, so I can enlarge that, and that there is the top of the chimney stack. Now, we know the angles stay the same in the enlarged figure, so I know that the chimney is going to be coming across here horizontal, and again I can enlarge out from here. So that there is going to give me the chimney. Now that's going to drop down vertically. And again, I could enlarge that out to there, and that's going to give me the height of that. Now what's important is now once we have the height of this, we also have the height across here of the other side. So I can just bring that across. So just heavy that in so you can see it a bit better. So that's gone up to there, that's coming down to here. Now finally, there's two ways now that I could find the end of this. I could use parallel angles, which I will maybe there, just to, you know, use a variety of ways. So I could say that's going up there parallel, and this must be going up from here parallel. Or what I could have done is I could have enlarged from A out through here, which gives me the same point as well. So I'll just finish heavying that in. Okay, so question 14 again, freehand sketch. So I'm going to just draw in there the plan of this. Again, we're looking for proportion here, so I'm going to just draw a there is okay, I think, now for the proportion of that. So, and there's about a quarter of a circle in this, so that's going to be our left hand side there, the high part. That, then that's boxed out coming over here. That goes from there. Okay, so we want to break this into 3 steps, 3 equal steps like that. So parallel lines first, second, third. Now again, that to there is about a quarter circle. And could just lighten that off there a little bit, but don't try and get rid of the evidence that you created it, because that's a good way of doing it. Okay, so that's our well proportioned freehand sketch of a plan. Finally there then, okay, so January is 50, February is 30. Okay, so March is, I suppose the smart thing to do here is number the whole lot. I'll go on tens, 50, 60. Okay, so February is 30, March is 55, April is 15, May is 25, and June is 45, 25, 35, 45. So complete the chart. So there we go. Now that's doing all 15 questions, so that's going to take significantly longer than just doing, as I said in the beginning, you need to do 10, but I think you're better off to do, 12 just in case, and maybe, if you have time left at the end of the exam, then you could come back and do some more. So I hope that's of help to you.